Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't supposed to win. It wasn't monetized enough. It wasn't live enough. It was just good. And that's why it broke everything. It's now spent 2 years on Steam's top seller list. No microtransactions, no DLC, no battle pass. Just a single player RPG with a price tag and an actual soul. Imagine that. In that time, we've watched half the live service market collapse under its own nonsense. Ubisoft dropped X Defiant, another multiplayer ghost town, and Skull and Bones, well, that was an $800 million pirate sim nobody asked for, but somehow we still got anyway. EA fired off another volley of live service cannon fodder, shiny, loud, and forgotten within a week. And BG3, still sitting there, still selling, still proving the entire industry wrong. March the 19th marked the moment it officially became undeniable. Baldur's Gate 3 has outperformed the business model it was never supposed to beat. A fully paid game, no cash shop, no content treadmill, outlasting games designed entirely around revenue loops. And it hasn't just stayed alive, it's thrived. It hit the top seller list before the full game even launched, it showed up in early access, and then it just never left. It pulled in over 875,000 concurrent players at its peak. It won more Game of the Year awards than most franchises see in their entire lifespan. It didn't just do well, it buried the narrative that single player is dead. Because that's not how single player games are supposed to behave, at least not according to the corporate script. We've all heard it, players don't finish games, nobody buys single player anymore, we need recurring monetization to survive. Frank Gibu, former EA president, even said it outright back in 2010. He said, "I think that model is finished. Online is where the innovation and the action is at." 15 years later, the most awarded game on the planet is an offline RPG with turn-based combat and a romance system that lets you seduce a druid in bear form. So yeah, maybe that action is somewhere else. Baldur's Gate 3 is a 2-year-long middle finger to all of that, and the fact that it happened in plain sight just makes it even funnier. Larian made a game, a real one, then they made it better, repeatedly, for free. And every time they did, the game got stronger, the community grew, the charts stayed locked. No live events, no store rotation, no predatory hooks, just trust in the product and respect for the player. Absolutely radical stuff. Now I'm sure the average viewer bailed 2 minutes ago to pre-order a deluxe edition of some half-baked sequel, so if you're still here, you get it, like the video, subscribe, you're in the right place. But this is where most studios panic. This is where they'd carve the game up and sell it back to you in 4 different parts. This is where they drop the definitive edition and reset the price. This is where they'd finally give you a photo mode as long as you bought the premium visuals pack. Instead, Larian said Patch 8 is the last major update and it's free. And what's in Patch 8? Photo mode, cross-platform multiplayer, new subclasses. They're not just tweaking numbers, they're adding content. The kind of stuff that most studios would lock behind a 30 quid expansion and a Season 2 roadmap full of buzzwords. Things that change how the game plays, how characters feel, how players build their parties. It's like if From Software suddenly patched Dark Souls to let you respec mid-fight and romance the blacksmith. And all this comes after new endings, epilogues, animations, mod support, and everything else they've added post-launch. Every single one of those additions fundamentally changed how the game could be played, and every single one of them was free. Meanwhile, the industry keeps pretending this is a fluke, that it's some one-off miracle. The same tired headlines pop up every year. Is single player dead? Like it's some tragic inevitability instead of a self-inflicted wound. Even Sven Vinker, Larian's director, had to jump in, and he said, "That time of year again where big single player games are declared dead." He posted on Twitter. Use your imagination, they're not, they just have to be good. And there it is, the entire industry problem boiled down into one sentence. Single player isn't dead, it's just not profitable when you make bad games. Duh. Just check Steam right now, almost 2 years later, it's still pulling in 40 to 60,000 players every single day. That's more than Suicide Squad, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and most other AAA games hit on launch day. More than Concord managed before dying in its first week. More than most 70 quid live service games get on release weekend. And those guys are paying influencers to pretend that anybody cares. So no, this isn't nostalgia, it's not luck, it's what happens when you build something that doesn't need bait to keep people playing. So hopefully you're starting to see the difference. It's like comparing a Michelin star restaurant to a Big Mac with DLC sauce. This isn't a fluke, it's not luck, it's not timing, it's the result of one studio refusing to play by the rules that were never made for players in the first place. Because the modern video game model doesn't work unless you build a bad game. It doesn't work unless you drain the core experience of anything complete and then sell the pieces back to the players. Larian skipped that whole process. They launched a finished game, albeit with a few bugs here and there, then they added more to it. They didn't need you you addicted, they needed you satisfied. They never chased attention. It's like that one Sleep Token song that you didn't get at first, then couldn't stop repeating for 3 months straight. And trust me, I've been there. That alone makes them an anomaly and an embarrassment to anybody else. What Baldur's Gate 3 proves over 2 years of consistent unpaid updates is that the market isn't allergic to single player games, it's allergic to trash. People will happily pay once and stick around if the game respects their time, their brain, and their money. And publishers can't stand that because this model doesn't scale for shareholders who want infinite growth from finite resources. It scales for players. It builds trust, the one thing that most studios can't buy or fake. So next time someone tells you single player is dead, that full-priced games can't survive without microtransactions, show them Baldur's Gate 3, then show them the Steam chart, then tell them to shut up and try harder. Trust is rare in this space. Keep the ones who earn it. Everyone else can keep their battle passes and their roadmap to nowhere. The rest of us will be over here playing games that remember what fun actually means.